My name is Craig. I'm a power host on Turo with 11 vehicles, 9 of which I rent out. Here's a random tip. Be creative. Here's an example. So both of my EVs actually don't rent out that much. They do rent, it's just nowhere near consistent as literally all of my other vehicles. All of my other vehicles, they're gone all the time. My 2 EVs, a little bit less. Date nights, realtors, if they're doing a showing or a video, a promotional video for $1 million or multi-million-dollar home, then they're taking the EVs. Other than that, the only time they're busy, gone all the time, prom season. Those entire 3-4 months in a row, those EVs are gone all the time. With that being said, I had a unique problem at hand. I have these big fancy vehicles that aren't really holding their weight. I found other ways to make them hold their weight, as I said in one of my previous videos about using those vehicles to leverage myself into a better position. It got me deals, it got me partnerships, it got me attention, it did a lot of things. But I still needed them to pull in more actual income. So here's what I did. Whenever I have some free time, say all the vehicles are booked or I only have 1 or 2 vehicles to deal with for that day, if everything's done, I got really nothing else to do and I'm motivated, I'll go out and I'll go do Uber and Lyft in one of those vehicles. Now, nobody expects your Uber driver to pull up in an electric BMW or an electric Cadillac as like their regular Uber. I'm not secluding myself to only these premium rides or whatever. I'm just doing Uber and Lyft. And every interaction is almost exactly the same. They get in the car and they're like, yo, or like, man, this is really nice, or I feel too broke to be in this car. Something along those lines. The conversation is remarkably similar every time. So I kind of giggle and I laugh and I say thank you, and then I tell them, hey, you can take it for a spin anytime. And they go, yeah, right, or like, oh, don't tempt me with a good time, or they laugh, or whatever the case may be. And then I just pass them a card, and they go, oh wait, you're serious? I'm like, yeah. I tell them, hey, have you ever heard of Turo? If they haven't, then I put them on game. And if they have, then I tell them, oh yeah, I'm a host on Turo. I'm the biggest in this area. That front QR code, I'll give them the whole rundown. And there's been plenty of times where they sit down and say, man, God must have wanted me to meet you today because I was on my way to get a rental, or I just got screwed over by one of those big corporate chains. I'm not going to say their names, but you know who they are. And now this presented themselves right in the lap. Now, they may not necessarily book that vehicle, but a lot of times they'll book one of my vehicles right there in my back seat. I'll have to pull over so they can get it done. I'll walk them through it. We'll see what I have available, and they'll book a car. And then they'll change their destination to go pick up my damn car. So now they're paying me in general. Then they're paying me to take them to go rent my car. They usually tip me very, very well because I provided a nice experience to them just on Uber and then for the rental car. And then they rent my car for, we're talking anywhere from maybe $100 or so to several $100s that I just made that I wouldn't have made if I wasn't out there taking the initiative. So essentially what I did was I created a unique way to promote. So now instead of paying for promotion, I'm literally getting paid to promote myself. I've gotten plenty of trips that way. I've made a lot of money that way. And now that vehicle isn't just costing me money, it's bringing me in money both directly and indirectly. So directly on the rides, if I make $100, $200, $300, $400 in a day doing Uber and Lyft, now that car is the reason why I brought in that income, but also now I get to promote that car to, however many people I actually drive, let alone however many people they recommend or how many people they show my cards to. There's been plenty of unique opportunities like that. You meet people who run, multi-million-dollar businesses, and they actually need a small fleet of vehicles for their employees, for like temporary jobs, or like they got their employees driving like across state lines or something like that. Boom. So now just like that, you have a customer that's going to rent 2 or 3 of your vehicles for like 30 days at a time. I would have never made those connections if I didn't take the initiative to go do Uber and Lyft in like my fancy cars and not just have them cost me money and drive them around to look pretty every now and then. That's really it, man. Be creative. As always, I'm your power host, Craig, and I hope I can provide a better experience.